Hello beautiful creatures, welcome back to Of Crafts and Curios. I am so excited today to be bringing you a new collab with the incredible Dolly Mixtures over from the UK on the opposite side of the world where it is currently spring. While I am embracing full-on autumn here in New Zealand, I carved my jack-o'-lantern last night over the full moon. I am sitting on the floor of my living room right as I record this, waiting for my pumpkin pie to finish cooking, and I am so excited to create a seasonal doll in collaboration with Lee. Lee and I have found ourselves in a bit of a feedback loop of inspiration in which I saw their incredible Cottagecore mushroom fawn doll, which led me to create my mushroom doll, and we decided together that it would be a fantastic idea to do a seasonal cottagecore collab, taking inspo from the seasons that we are in on the opposite sides of the world and giving it that cottagecore twist. So today I'm taking some random spare parts from my spare part bag that lives at the bottom of my doll supply box, this cat doll head and this body, and I'm going to be creating some sort of autumnal doll. This head's pretty busted, it's got some ink staining on it, so it's going to need some TLC, and this body I think is in perfect condition but a little loose through the legs, so good little spare parts to put a doll together with. As this head is already separated from its body, I'm just going to go ahead and clean off the factory paint with acetone based nail polish remover and bring that hair down to its bare bones and then rip it out through the head. I went back and forth on the idea for this doll with some ideas around the pumpkins that I've been growing in my garden coming to harvest, and then the beautiful fungi that grow during autumn. I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do until I visited this local farm in my area that has these beautiful cows, and I got obsessed with the cows' white eyelashes, and I think that kind of solidified the idea that I wanted to do a little cow and incorporate my garden patch pumpkins into the design somehow. So I'm taking the cat ears off and gluing them on again to look like a little cow. This does probably mean that autumn my videos are going to be pretty cow heavy, as I'm doing a cow for this video, and then we of course have the Taurus doll in my astrology series coming up soon, so I hope you guys like cows as much as I do. Now moving on to the face up, I didn't want to spend the time dealing with removing the ink staining, so I am going to do a bit of a spotty cow. In New Zealand, the most common cow that I see at least is like this rich mahogany brown colored cow with like white eyelashes, white facial markings, and little white hooves. So that's the kind of cow that I'm going to take my inspiration from. I'm just going to hide that ink staining under a big brown patch on her face and go with a really soft, cute facial expression. It was important for me to channel those white eyelashes, and I wanted to give my little humanoid cow some freckles as well, because I think they're just so cute, and the orange ties into the pumpkin theme that I'm going for with this doll. So I'm just going to give her some highlighting and her face will be done. Now with her face up complete, I started to think about what kind of fall inspo outfit I wanted to go with this doll, and I thought back to my mushroom doll, which was the first doll that I really took inspiration out of Lee's incredible cottagecore fantasy vibe. So I had made this doll with a little mushroom outfit, basically. The idea that the doll is a mushroom with a mushroom hat and mushroom dress and just mushroom everything. So I thought, let's just do that, but pumpkinified. So my outfit is going to be pumpkin inspired, so orange, green, and down to every last detail. So I want her to have this cute orangey bob that I'm taking yarn wefts to make, and I'm just gonna go ahead and glue these yarn wefts on and see if I can get a little pumpkin shape haircut going on. With the wefts completely stuck on, she's looking a little insane, so I'm going to go ahead and style this into a bob. I want her to have kind of blunt fringe with a little flip under bob, because I think this will look super cute and create that kind of round, kind of pumpkin shape. I used a hot metal chopstick to curl under the edges of the wefts, and just like that, we'll set her here and hope for the best. And now onto my favorite part, the outfit. I have these wool fabric bits from Amazon. They're from the Primitive Gathering brand, and I think they're the perfect orange and green to create my little outfit. So I'm going to be creating a beret using the incredible Creepy Kitty Creations beret pattern from one of their videos. A fellow New Zealander, do go check them out. I'll link them down below, and you too could use this incredible pattern. I love this pattern, it's so simple, and I think the beret shape lends itself to pumpkin really well. I think the round shape with the segments of the beret and the little green, I don't know what part of this the beret it would be called, but the little top thing makes a perfect little stem, and I think it really translates as pumpkin, so I'm really happy with this, and it sort of ties in with my Mushroom Dolls mushroom hat. Oh, and I definitely wanted to show you guys this incredible handcrafted silver ring one of my delightful friends created. It is all about channeling that beautiful feminine divine energy, and it has a womb on it, and it's just incredible. I'll link her Instagram down below if you wanted to pick one up yourself. She is the incredible energy that inspired my forest fawn doll, so if you want to go check that out as well, I'll pop a card somewhere on the screen. And now onto the outfit. I have so many autumnal fall pumpkin fabrics in my collection of fabrics. It's actually a bit unhinged. However, I wanted to keep it simple and kind of straddle the same line that I did with my mushroom doll and have this dress kind of look more pumpkin-y than as if it was pumpkin fabric. So I'm going with this simple dress, and I'm just going to add these lace embellishments on first, as I always forget to do that and then end up having to try add them onto the completed garment. So I'm adding all my embellishments first before beginning to sew the pieces together by hand. So here I am just sewing the top a little bit looser than I would for my usual garments. I want this dress to fit a little looser by itself and then be pulled in tighter by the little apron that I'm going to create to sit alongside this dress. It's of course going to still have lots of volume and cottagecore essence, but it is going to be a little looser or wider through the doll's body. Monster High dolls are very, very narrow, so getting a lot of detail onto a dress is a lot harder when it is snug and fitted. So because I added that lace embellishment, it is going to be a little bit looser. As for the apron, I did go with that tartan green fabric as I thought it had a great energy of autumn, and it just breaks up the block fabric colors. And I just think that green and orange are a great mix, good contrasting colors. I went for more of a 40s style on this apron with those ruffled sleeves, just because the dress with the beret was giving dark academia vibes to me, so I did want to have a kind of vintage energy to her outfit. I did play around with the idea of having a woolen coat to match her beret as well, but the fabric being that stiffer wool just wasn't falling how I wanted to, so I quickly abandoned that idea. But to give the dress volume, she definitely needed a petticoat, so I'm taking this length of lace and I'm just going to gather it together and add a fixture, and it's going to be a little petticoat to go under her dress. And of course, I also wanted to create some stockings out of this old hosiery fabric. And after seeing what Lee was up to over on their doll, I knew I wanted to do some more customizing to my doll's body, so I made sure to whip out the milli part and decided I want to give my doll some hooves. I traditionally do hooves on the feet of dolls, it's just a lot easier, but this doll was going to be wearing shoes, so I went in and I made her little hands into little hooves. Because she's a cow, makes sense, you know? Next up was painting the hooves, and although hooves on cows tend to be kind of a lighter color than the rest of them, I did want to make mine kind of a softer brown just to tie in with the fall and autumn colors that were in my design. And once the hooves had completely dried, I'm just going to go ahead and add a cover of Mod Podge just so that the paint doesn't crack or chip off or any of that stuff. Just seal it in there really. And using a leftover weft, I am going to cut tiny little bits of fiber and use this as flocking to add some fur to my hooves. Tiny little hoof hands complete. And since I had the paints out already, I was going to go ahead and paint these little boots to match those autumn colors. I do wish they didn't have the teeth because this doll is meant to be more cute rather than creepy, but they're the perfect kind of undercolor to create a orangey brown boot that will match the outfit perfectly, I think. So as we were coming to the end of my design process, I was thinking, how can I incorporate the pumpkins from my garden into this design? And I came up with the idea that this little cow girl has been at the local autumn fair and she has won first place for best pumpkin pie. So by mixing together a few Sculpey colors, I am going to make a polymer clay pumpkin pie that my doll can hold. Pumpkin pie isn't really a big thing in New Zealand. New Zealand has one kind of like native pumpkin that is kind of bluer on the outside and then orange on the inside. And we don't have Thanksgiving as that is a United States holiday specific to their founding. So it's kind of, I'm just going off all of the images I've seen through media rather than any experience with pumpkin pie. And then after this, I did bake a pumpkin pie for the first time using my pumpkins, and I'm so excited to dig in once I finish this video. To create the outer edge of my pie crust, I did just make a little noodle of polymer clay and just finessed it around the edge of that foil tray that I made for my pie to sit in, and then blend the edges down. I also used my nail to create kind of a forking design. I know that when I make pie, I use a fork to score the pastry. I think that might be the wrong word, but I used my nail to do that effect here on my mini pie, and I also sculpted some tiny pastry leaves because autumn, obviously. Using an array of pastels, paints, and varnishes, I went ahead to finish off the pie once it had been baked in the oven, just to bring some more realism to it, like a shiny pie crust and a matte kind of sheen to the pie, using Mod Podge and varnish. And here are her tiny hooves holding her tiny pie. I think this is so cute. And this brings me to my last step of the character design, which is to create the first place sash that she'll be wearing for winning the first place in the local little cottage fair pumpkin pie competition for her autumn. I think adding the little sash gives a kind of a Girl Scouts energy, which I'm kind of obsessed with, you know, matching this beret with the little sash. I am using these little adhesive lettering with a metallic sheen to add the first place because I wanted it to shine like metallic fabrics do. And there we go, her first place badge is on. And now the final step is to add some varnish to her eyes, lips, and nose to bring her to life, and she'll be all done. And here is my completed Cottagecore seasonal autumn doll in collaboration with the incredible Dolly Mixtures. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm absolutely obsessed with her. I think she is so cute, possibly one of the cutest dolls I've ever made. I think her little characterization is so sweet, and I love her little pumpkin pie and her soft, gentle stare. I don't know what we should name her. Leave me some suggestions down below. I don't normally name my dolls, but I just feel like this character has such life to her that I do want to name her. And of course, do go check out the incredible work of my fellow collaborator Dolly Mixtures over on their channel. I'll link down below their incredible spring seasonal cottagecore doll. We have added so many dolls to this little world of cottagecore fantasy that we have together, so I'm so excited to be bringing 2 new dolls to this world. And of course, if you are new here and you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. I'll be back so soon with more crafts and more curios and more footage of cats, as I do have 4 of them. Leave me a comment down below on what you're getting up to today. What's the season like where you are? Is it warm? Is it cold? Are you keeping well? And as always, I'll see you guys back here so soon. Have a fantastic day, and thank you for watching.